Hi, I'm a tarot reader. I thought I'd change my words for a change for anybody that watches all our videos. But I'm a tarot reader. My name's Sue Ellam. I've been doing tarot for 25 years, and I'm using the Mythic Tarot, which are based on Greek mythology.
And I'm an intuitive Reiki master teacher and a spiritual life coach, and my name is Carrie Beleno. There, I switched it up too. We are giving daily guidance to practical questions and our relevant questions.
And if you're watching this on Carrie's podcast, she also has a YouTube channel, and you can see the cards.
And that was a duplicate question from 2 days ago. So I just threw that one out. I'm going to pick another one.
Okay.
I don't know how that happened. Oh, this is a big one. What if we don't feel confident with invasive medical procedures, but are being told we should follow protocol? Do you need that one again?
Yeah. What we don't trust the medical thing.
We don't feel confident with invasive medical procedures, but we are being told we should follow protocol.
Okay.
Invasive medical procedures or testing, I would say, too.
Yeah. Okay. Right. There's a lot of confusion around this area. People really don't know what to do for the best, because there are some areas that it's helpful and some areas that it's harmful. And especially when it's kind of in a mandatory thing, some people are going to get negatively affected. And there's certainly enough stories about people having vaccine damage and having been paid vast sums of money because of it. So I think we're all aware that there's no kind of like that all vaccines are good or all vaccines are bad. There are kind of lots of different viewpoints on this. It is a massive area of it's a very, very grey area. I mean, if there's something wrong with your body, you know, and if it becomes like you've broken a leg, you need to get something done to fix it. I mean, that's quite cut and dried, because you can't focus. I think we're probably talking more about kind of things like, you know, like mammograms and smear tests, things like that, or mandatory vaccines, things that we're being kind of forced into in some ways, because especially when you're talking about vaccines, there's this kind of element of, oh, well, if you're not vaccinated, then you're putting everybody else in danger. So there's lots of pressure on it. It is a really, really difficult area. And what's right for one person might not be right for another. Something could have saved someone's life, but it can damage someone else's health. It's a really, really difficult question. We have to be supportive of others and allow others to be supportive of us. So we need to really research and find out about these things and share our information, get information for others, and not necessarily people who are kind of on the conspiracy theory side, or people who are on the pharmaceuticals are the only way side. Got to find a middle ground with this. I mean, I remember many years ago, I was temping in London. I went to work in the Cancer UK, Research UK offices, and there was a woman there who wasn't well, and she tried everything, and we were working for two of the senior surgeons for cancer, you know, very high up in their field. And she tried everything, gone to doctors, and she just wasn't well. I can't remember what was wrong. But I said to her, have you tried naturopathy or homeopathy? And she hadn't. So she she found somebody and went along and started taking something, and she was feeling better. And that was fine. I mean, I was only there for about 3 weeks, so this was quite a short period of time. But anyway, she was starting to feel better. And then I was saying, how are you feeling? She said, oh, well, I'm not. I said, how are you doing with it? She said, oh, I'm not taking it anymore. And I said, well, why not? She said, oh, well, you know, I mentioned it to one of the surgeons, and he says, oh, well, never mind. It won't do you any harm. In such a way that even though it's making her feel better, she had put this man on a pedestal, and she stopped taking that medicine because he was so disparaging about it. It's like, oh, well, it is rubbish, but if you think it's making you feel better. So he kind of belittled her because his belief was, unless you could cut it out, then it wasn't valid, you know. So we have to be wary of people who say, you know, my way is the only way. Sometimes it's old school medical people who literally would feel as though they had invalidated their whole career if they agreed there was another way. And also for the people who say, well, no vaccine is good for you, because in some cases, you know, especially if you're in an area there's lack of hygiene and stuff like that, there are always grey areas when something can save your life. So you've got to try and find people in the middle ground who aren't fanatical, and kind of get some balanced things. Don't just read the medical side stuff, because that can also be tampered with, or kind of the numbers can be skewed, as with anything. Try and find people who've had personal experience of things like that. So it is finding people with level heads who are open to all arguments, and who will talk about personal experience or personal experiences of people they know. That is the best way to get your information. Try not to have fear and anxiety about it, you know, because at the end of the day, this is your body. Nobody should have the right, or nobody has the right to tell you what to do for the health of your own body. And if you take precautions, as in, I mean, Karen and I were talking earlier on about our immune systems. If you can look at making your immune system strong, and are, you know, you eat the right food, you don't go crazy over sugar and alcohol and things, just be balanced, you know, and don't fear that just because you had a tendency to, you know, tonsillitis in the past, you're always going to have that, or have this fear that just because you've had breast cancer in the family that you're going to automatically get it. You know, if we have fears and we focus on that, then what we're doing is we're drawing the energy of that towards us as well. So fear also suppresses the immune system. So as soon as we're fearful, what we've done is we've thrown the immune system out of the window. And do you know, by doing 3 days of water fasting, you can reset your immune system. So that's 72 hours without food, only water, and you reset your immune system. Isn't that incredible? How the body can heal itself. And if there's something wrong, you'll know. If you know your body, you will know if there's something wrong. And if it worries you, go and get it checked out. But also do the research. Look at the best things you can take for it, the best foods you can eat if you've got access to this kind of this food. So there's many other things. And I hasten to add, I'm not a medical person. I'm talking about kind of personal experience. But I know the pressure that is put on you. And when you get to a certain age, suddenly you get kind of letters from kind of doctors and things, come and have this test and that test, and you know, you don't have to. hopefully you're not in a country that people will force you, but don't let fear get in the way of it. And at the end of the day, you need to follow your intuition. Let that guide you. Let your body tell you what you need to do. And it's quite easy if you eat kind of clean. You eat kind of lots of fruits and vegetables, and if you're a meat eater or fish or whatever you eat, if you make sure it comes from the best sources, if you can, then you're going to be okay. And you'll find that if you eat too much sugar or you eat too much wheat, you'll get heartburn, you'll feel uncomfortable, your body will tell you. Once I did a water fast, I did like 25 days a couple of years ago, and I tell you something, as soon as I finished doing that, my body told me very, very clearly what food it did and didn't like. I automatically felt very uncomfortable if I'd eaten something that wasn't the best for me. So it's just listening to what your intuition is telling you. And if this particular procedure is something that you're comfortable with, or whether you would feel violated by, and then follow what that is telling you, and don't listen to what other people are telling you if they're trying to force you one way or the other. But do listen to voices of reason, not the fanatics on either side. Those are the cards.
And I wrote down here, just as Sue was starting to say it, that we are not medical professionals. We are only speaking from personal experience, and also as witness to the huge number of clients we've both seen that have brought these things forward to us. So
yeah.
I'm going to use this moment to get on my soapbox. We are in the middle of a global pandemic, and it is, regardless of whether you think it's lab created or natural or a conspiracy or not, or whatever, masks work, masks don't, regardless, our bodies are having an immune response to something. I don't even think we know exactly what it is yet. Our bodies are having an immune response. And to me, logically, the best way to have the best response when we are presented with something that's foreign to our body is to make sure our immune system is in the best possible shape. So I'm going to get on my soapbox now, and I'm going to say, if you are smoking, if you are drinking in excess, if your diet stinks, if you've got uncontrolled disease, ill emotional health, whatever, this is the wake-up call. And if I can be your wake-up call, and I can say, go get yourself healthy, do whatever you need to do to get yourself healthy and to boost your immune system, please go do that now, because I don't think the public speakers, powers that be, are saying that enough. So I'm going to take the opportunity to say it because I think it needs to be said more. Okay, that's the end of my soapbox. So, and my first thing I wanted to share was that if there was ever a time to follow your intuition, these are the kinds of questions to follow your intuition. About 2 days ago, I had mentioned that it was time to practice using your intuition for the really small things, so that when you have the big decisions, you'll know what it's telling you. So this is one of those big decisions. What do I do with a medical procedure? So you have got to listen to your intuition. So you can do research, you can see the pros and cons, you can talk to people that have had it done or not had it done, or chosen yes or chosen no, and you can analytically make a decision. But in the end, I want you to be sure that you are asking yourself how you feel about it. And Sue kind of said that, and I'll just summarize it. If your gut is telling you, like, yes, I want this, it's going to make me feel comfortable, I feel my body needs it, then it's right for you. If you are saying every bone in my body is screaming that this is unnecessary or not right for me, or there must be a different option, then that's what you should listen to. So it is all about your body making the right decision with you, that whole intuitive piece. Because there are alternatives out there if we start asking a lot of questions. So there are several means to the end, to diagnose or to treat. So don't be afraid to ask those questions, especially if you are working with people who do not want to entertain the thought that there's another option for you. It's very important that you start connecting to like-minded, follow your gut, because there are so many sides to this question, and it's up to us to pave our own way. So that's what I want to give you personal empowerment to do, is to pave the way that feels right for you.
Absolutely. And that's the advice from us, non-professional, not professionals,
Medical,
non-medical professionals. We are professional in our own right.
Correct.
But not on a medical basis. But there you go. That's the best advice we can give.
Perfect. Yes, I have helped a lot of clients with medical issues and helping navigate this intuition part and this emotional health part. So contact us if you would like a little guidance or assistance in finding balance.
Yeah, absolutely. Anyway, it's goodbye from me.
And like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Okay, bye.